with your database. Anybody who has subscribed here, I'm gonna make a disclosure. If you do not want your data to be shared with Hetty, let me know so that I do not do that. But one of the promises that I've made, should Hetty want to contact any of the entrepreneurs to wish your details to be shared with Hetty, let me know and I will not do that. Hetty, over to you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I see that this is a global conversation. We've got individuals that are joining us from across the world, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Kolela, and thank you to your team for creating this platform that allows us to have the conversations that are going to allow us to grow our businesses and help them to move forward. So a very warm welcome to everybody. I'm going to start by first introducing myself. My name is Hetty, the entrepreneur. And whilst I am introducing myself, please feel free to use the comment section to let me know your name and the type of business that you are in. Please let me know your name and the type of business that you are in within the comment section. So whilst you are doing that, my name is Hetty, the entrepreneur. I'm a business and monetization coach, and I am absolutely really passionate about growing and advancing businesses. I mentor several businesses within different industries, and I also work with organizations to help them increase their social media presence and to really dominate within the online space so that they can grow their businesses, and most importantly, so that they can monetize. I have been monetizing within the online space for over a decade, and I have been able to monetize in various different ways, from being able to sell products to also being able to monetize my knowledge. So when I first started within the online space, it was through my retail business, a clothing business called P&H Boutique, and that business sells African print clothing. Now, when we talk about African print clothing, this is something that is not new. So I didn't reinvent the wheel or create something that doesn't exist. Most of us know about this particular product. But one thing that I was able to do was to bring it into the online space and be able to monetize that. So if you are selling a product or a service, I am here to tell you that you can use the online space to be able to monetize that. I remember when I started my business, in fact, P&H Boutique, we had about 10,000 followers on Facebook, and we did a course, my business partner and I. This was really a course that we absolutely couldn't afford. It was 20,000 Rand, which we didn't have. And we borrowed that money from our credit card. And we're able to begin to learn the ins and outs of social media to be able to use it to actually grow a business. We started off that business operating it within our home. And within 6 months, we had grown the business from 10,000 followers to 100,000 followers. And as I'm speaking to you today, that business now has 500,000 followers. So I am sharing this information with you to let you know that if your business is a product or a service, you can be able to use the online space to actually grow your business. We were able to grow our business from the point of actually retailing within our home, completely home-based business, operating from the spare bedroom of our home, to opening our first retail store. Then our second retail store, then our third, our fourth, our fifth, our sixth, then our seventh. Today, I want to be able to share with you that no matter what it is that you are doing in your business, if you are able to follow the necessary strategies you can grow your business. And that's exactly what we do. I was then able to take the knowledge of growing our business from retail to share it with other individuals to say, is the success that we have been able to accumulate unique to us, or is this something that can be replicated? So I work with individuals like yourselves to be able to grow your businesses. And right now I'm able to monetize my own personal brand and be able to create multiple streams of income from that. So that is just a little bit about myself. I really am so incredibly passionate about growing businesses. And our topic for today is all about the art of pitching your business. The art of pitching your business. All right. So before we get into it and before we get cracking, let me check the comment section to see the individuals that are joining us here today. We've got Ria, who is within the IT sector. We've got Dikonelo, who is in digital marketing, fantastic. Kaimo, who is in farming and food processing. Mahlatsi is has got a chicken broiler farming. Nyeko, who is in digital procurement software. Yuli is a bakepreneur. I love that. Yuli bakes and supplies other bakers with cake necessities. I absolutely love that. We've got Zaid, who is based in South Africa and is in hardware and agriculture. Sudeep is in waste management. Anele is in cleaning services. John is in, oh dear, John is in interior cleaning and chemical supplies. Ntabi Singh offers life coaching, which is brilliant, wonderful. We've got Matilda, who is who's got MNGP trading. Diendra, who's the next up, robotics. So we've got a really fantastic mix of different individuals. I see Kuseli is a business consultant. Twala is in training and skills development, and Ambrish is working on poor drinking water quality issues and its solutions. We've got Sikre Lokuhle, who is in e-learning, MJ, who's creating artificial organs. So we have got a really fantastic mix of different individuals with us today. And indeed, we are having a global conversation. So I want us to talk about the art of pitching your business. First and foremost, when we are looking at the art of pitching your business, and let me give you a big disclaimer, I'm not using slides and making things overly formal today. I really want us to have a conversation, entrepreneur to entrepreneur, business owner to business owner. There is a certain language that we can speak that we can, in order for us to understand ourselves. And I don't want us to bog ourselves down with formalities that are going to create a barrier from us having a robust conversation today. So if along the way you've got a question, please make use of the comment section. Please raise your hand and let us have the conversation. All right. Now, when we talk about the art of pitching your business, it's vitally important for you to realize that no matter what type of business you are in, whether it is IT, whether it is makeup, whether it is robotics, whether it is waste management, you need to be able to pitch your business. You need to be able to pitch your business. You need to be able to speak about your business in the dead of the night. All right? If I wake you up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. and I say, Anele, tell me now, what is your business about? You should be able to wake up and immediately tell me what your business does, the value it brings to the table, and why we should be able to take you seriously. So as a business owner, this is a critical skill that there is no excuse for you to not acquire. It is not good enough to say, Hetty, I am shy, I cannot pitch my business. I'm a brand new entrepreneur, I cannot pitch my business. I am not charismatic, I don't like talking, I cannot pitch my business. Every single one of us as business owners are the #1 brand ambassador of our businesses. We are the number one sales executive of our business. We are the CEO of our own marketing department. So the art of pitching your business is a skill that you must acquire and you must be able to sharpen. All right. Now, the very first thing that you want to think about when it comes to being able to successfully pitch your business is to answer the question, who are you? Who are you? What exactly does your business do? Now, I'm not looking for an answer of we create chemical supplies. We build up robotics or do research in robotics. I want you to really think about what is the unique and compelling thing that your business does that would make us stop in our tracks and pay attention to you. What is that thing that your business does that will make you stand out from the crowd and set you aside? Do you know what that thing is? Often at times we call it the elevator pitch. If you enter into an elevator and you meet another human being and they say to you, what does your business do? Between 0 to the 5th floor, before the doors of the elevator opens, are you able to describe what your business does in a manner that is compelling, in a manner that is memorable, and in a manner that will make the next person want to take an action? An action of reaching out to you to book a meeting, an action of wanting to have a consultation with you, an action of wanting to make a purchase, an action of wanting to interact with your business? Or do you simply say, oh, I just do makeup? You see, the way in which we talk about our business is part of the pitching process. And some of you talk about your business as though it is the world's best kept secret. Where is the passion? Where is the confidence? Where is the excitement about your business? You cannot expect any other person to be excited about your business more than you. Some of you, we have to beg you to tell us about your business. It's like drawing blood from a stone. You should be a walking, talking machine talking about your business at any given opportunity. For many of you, you have joined into this masterclass because you want to understand, how do I pitch my business to a potential investor? But when we meet you in the queue at Woolworths or ShopRite, you do not tell us about your business because you are waiting to pitch inside of a boardroom when potential investors are all over. They are with you in the queue at Woolworths. They are standing with you within the elevator. They are everywhere that you are, but you are waiting to only have the ability to pitch when you are inside a boardroom. I am here to tell you that the art of pitching your business must be happening every single day, in every single way, at every place that you find yourself in. Do not fool yourself into believing that your next investor is wearing a suit sitting inside a boardroom. Your next investor could be at your child's school. Your next investor could be led to you through your business banker. Your next investor could be your gym partner, but you would not know because you have not made the art of pitching your business part of your everyday routine. I want us to transform our thinking today about what it actually means to pitch your business. Pitching your business does not mean that you need to be standing on a stage talking to investors. Pitching your business means that you need to inculcate the habit of talking about your business to anybody that will listen to you, because you never know who those words are landing on and where the next door will be opened for you to be able to seize the next opportunity to take your business to the next level. So the first thing you need to be able to answer clearly, succinctly, convincingly is, who are you? Who are you? And how do you tell us about your business in a way that makes you memorable? In a way that makes you memorable. This thing of calling yourself a small business is very, very dangerous, because you show up with small business energy. You show up with small business, putting your hand out like this, expecting a handout. I want you to begin to show up as the business you want to be. If you envision and see yourself as a big business, I need you to begin showing up with the posture of a big business. If you are a fashion designer, I want you to start saying, I make garments that help you stand out from the crowd and command attention. When somebody asks you what you do and you say it like that, do you not think that they will want to see your catalog? Do you not think that they will want to visit your website or go to your social media pages in order to see these garments that make a person stand out from the crowd, that makes people want to take them seriously? So I want you to begin thinking about, how do I proposition myself in a manner that makes me memorable to the person that I am talking to? The next thing I want you to think about, point number 2, is, who are you targeting? Who are you targeting? Some of you are targeting the whole world. And let me tell you now, if you are targeting the whole world, you are targeting absolutely nobody. Do not be afraid to specialize. Do not be afraid to niche. Do not be afraid to have a specific group of individuals that you are targeting. You cannot say that because you make clothes, you are targeting everybody in the world, because we all make clothes. Does everybody wear vintage? Does everybody wear maternity wear? Does everybody wear African print clothing? Does everybody wear dresses? Does everybody wear children's clothes? It is important for you to understand the specific demographic of individual that you are targeting, so that you are able to speak their language. You are able to understand what unique problem are they facing, to which I am the solution to that problem, so that you can be able to formulate a marketing strategy that speaks directly to that individual. And here is the beauty for you as a business owner. When you understand exactly who you are targeting, you can name your price. You can name your price, because your product, your service, your knowledge, and your offering is niched to that individual. That is why you will pay a brain surgeon more money than you will pay a general practitioner. When you go to your GP, that is the lowest amount you will pay a doctor. But when you go to a brain surgeon, a gynecologist, a pediatrician, you pay a premium price because they are specialized in what you are going to them for. And because of that, they understand the unique problem that you have. Are you a specialist in your target audience, or are you a GP? You need to ask yourself, who exactly am I targeting? You want to be able to pitch your business, but you don't know who you are talking to. And then you say, nobody is interested in my business. Everybody is asking for a discount. That is because you are offering a premium product and pitching to non-premium clientele and wondering where you have gone wrong. You are not even in the right room, because you have not understood who you are targeting. You are painting and printing out posters and handing them out at the traffic light randomly, when there are 40,000 cars that are going past, but there is no indication that you are actually handing it out to the right and specific demographic. You would rather speak to a room of 20 targeted clients whom you have identified need your product or service than a room of 2,000 people that you have no idea what their problem is. When are we going to take ourselves seriously as business owners? Guys, I am having a tough conversation with you today because this is a room of entrepreneurs. If I was speaking at a conference generally, this is not the Hetty that you will get. But you've told me you are entrepreneurs, therefore we must have this conversation. This is kitchen table talk among entrepreneurs. Are you actually in business? Are you? Because when you treat your business like a hobby, you will get hobby results. You will get hobby results. When an entrepreneur comes to me and says, Hetty, help me to put my business in the online space, I need to understand, who are we talking to? Are they male? Are they female? What is their age group? Are they living in an urban or rural area? Are they in the continent, around the continent, in the country? Are they global? What is their income bracket? What is the problem that you are solving? What websites do they visit? What do they value in their life? Let me give you two very simple examples. Mr. Price sells white t-shirts. Ralph Lauren sells white t-shirts. On the surface, it looks like the same product, but the people that they are targeting are very different. Mr. Price is targeting an individual that is looking for something that is affordable and that will do the job. Ralph Lauren is selling status. They are selling status. They're not selling a white t-shirt. When people see that horse, it is saying that you are within a certain income bracket. Automatically, our posture when we speak to you is different because it represents something within our mind that allows us to perceive you in a particular way. So when you are pitching your business, what is the inherent desire that you are actually pitching about? Is it the convenience of being able to buy a t-shirt that is affordable and then they can continue with life? Or are you pitching status? Are you pitching, I have arrived? Are you pitching, respect me? I have put in years of work so that I can afford this Ralph Lauren t-shirt. Same product on the outside, completely different value proposition, completely different level of pitching. Both businesses are running successfully. Why? They have understood who they are targeting. Do you know who you are targeting? Do you know the language that you need to speak to reach that individual? Do you know the innate desire that they have within themselves? Because 90% of purchasing decisions that are made outside of food, which is an essential necessity to keep you alive, are emotional purchases. So when you are selling ready-made food to a bachelor that lives home alone, are you selling ready-made food, or are you selling the memory of the food they grew up with that their mother used to prepare for them every single Sunday? Are you selling the feeling of home? Or are you just selling food? I enjoy cooking, therefore come and buy from me. Support a small business, female-owned Black business. That is not a value proposition, and it's not going to cut it anymore. We may buy from you once because you're Black-owned or female-owned, but that is not how you make a recurring business. You must understand your value proposition. What is that unique thing that makes you stand apart from the crowd? Now, when it comes to pitching, there are two things I want us to begin to talk about. Number one, some of you want to know how to pitch to an investor. I'm going to talk about that. Then I want to talk to you about the art of prospecting, because some of you are not prospecting, and that is just not good enough. It simply will not cut it. First and foremost, you are approaching investors as if you are a charity case. Investors are also running their own business. Investors want to invest in a business that is going to give them a return on their investment. They cannot invest in you simply because you are a nice person. That can be reserved for a coffee date. They cannot invest in you simply because you are a young person. There must be a return on the investment. So the mistake you are making is that when you pitch your business, You are pitching it from a place of ego. From today onwards, your ego must die. From today onwards, we are burying your ego 6 feet under. It is not about you. Your business is about the person that is going to benefit from your business. Being an entrepreneur is an act of service. So if you are going to lead with the point of view of your ego, you are going to struggle. When you are pitching your business, the most important thing you need to lead with is, how are you going to benefit the investor? Most of you are leading with your own perspective. I started this business because I am passionate about XYZ. I started this because of my experience in XYZ. You are starting with me. By the time you reach the point of telling the investor how they are going to benefit from investing in you, they've lost interest. They've lost interest. Because once again, you are assuming that an investor is sitting around, twiddling their thumbs, waiting to have a conversation with you. Do you know how many businesses are pitching to them every single day? Every day, knocking on their doors, phoning them, sending emails, pitching up at their office unannounced. How can you possibly lead with your ego under such a climate? Only 2% of entrepreneurs who pitch their businesses receive funding.
Yes.
I need you to begin to approach your business very soberly. Because sometimes our passion is making us a little bit drunk. I need you to sober up today. If you want to be recognized, you must put your investor front and center. How will they benefit from investing in you? You must receive funding before starting your business. I am telling you today, you will wait until the chickens come home to roost. Investors invest in businesses that have proven their concept. Sell. Show us that there is a demand for what you are producing. Go to them and say, look, I have sold 1,000 units of my product. This is the demographic I have sold to. These are the repurchases that have been made. Show that you have proven the concept. You want us to invest in you based on writing on a piece of paper. Who is going to make that risk? Even you yourself will not take that risk, but you want somebody else to take it. Your biggest investor in your business is your customer. Build a customer base. Take selling seriously. Never allow the words to escape your lips that you cannot sell. You are not a good seller. You don't like selling. Then it means you cannot be an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurs sell. We sell. And let me tell you something. No matter what you do in life, even if you have a career and you are in corporate, at any given point in time, we are selling. When you go to a job interview, you are selling. When you enter into a room, your posture, your confidence about your business is selling your business. The truth is we don't always invest in the actual business. Sometimes we are investing in you, your confidence, your passion about your business. That confidence transfers to us via osmosis because we think to ourselves, yo, Kalela is so passionate about this and is willing to do whatever it takes to make it work. I am actually going to invest in Kalela. Invest in the resilience that you have. Can we believe in your business because of your level of belief that you transfer to us via osmosis? Or are you talking about your business with your head down, looking down on your feet because you're feeling shy? How are you pitching your business through your body language? Through your confidence? You're making clothes. Are you wearing your clothes? You're an interior designer. When you go live on Instagram, your background looks untidy. So what exactly are you designing? You do nails. We look at your nails. They're not done. Are you the #1 brand ambassador of your business? Because all of that is part of the pitching process. You do people's hair, but you're always wearing a doek. How is that pitching your business? And yet we must take you seriously. The second element I really want to talk to you about is the art of prospecting. Prospecting is the art of placing yourself in front of individuals who have the potential to buy from you. You need to talk about your business. In my house, I have a prospecting wall. Every single day I am prospecting. Every single day I am teaching prospecting to my mentees. Every single day I am making sure my clients are prospecting. You need to be talking about your business to as many people as possible and placing yourself in the rooms where your potential client is. But you cannot do that if you don't know who you're targeting. If you are targeting accountants, you need to be attending accounting conferences, seminars, indabas, expos, so that your business is in front of your target market. You have to take the art of prospecting seriously. So when it comes to pitching your business is an every single day activity. Every day. You're pitching your business on social media. You're pitching your business on WhatsApp. You're pitching your business on email. You're pitching your business in rooms. You're pitching your business through networking. You're pitching your business through the conversations that you are having with people. There is no day off. There is no switch off button. So you really, really need to understand this when it comes to the art of pitching your business. Now, I've spoken quite a bit and I am cognizant of time, and I want this to be a conversation. I would love to open up the floor to any questions that you may have so that I can be able to expand on the points that are resonating with you the most and are the most important to you as an entrepreneur. So Xolela, I'm not sure if you can help us to facilitate a Q&A process.
I'll be delighted to, and I'm going to be the first one. And look, you've awakened.
Your sound is a little bit low, Xolela. I'm not sure.
I think my internet is a bit
or maybe
bad.
You can disconnect your sound and reconnect so that we can hear you.
I think my internet is a bit low, so I think my video should be off. Am I audible now?
Just a little bit. It sounds a bit faint, but let's continue, not a problem.
Okay, maybe if there are any questions on the floor. I see Emmanuel has unmuted himself. Prof, you have the floor. On some people, I'm audible. My first question, I see somebody has raised their hand. Who is it? Skibela, sir, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Hi, Kolola. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Piri, thank you so much for such an information that you shared with us. I just want to have a question around the point you made where you said investors are not necessarily interested in investing into a business that does not have an income or that has not necessarily shown an income. And then while on the other side, we also have an opportunity of investors investing in an entrepreneur, not necessarily the business. So what I want to find out, or at least maybe to give me a more info as to which one can one invest time into. Does one have to practice more about selling themselves as an entrepreneur, or does one have to practice more about selling the business, particularly when the business has not necessarily shown any traction of income? I don't know if I'm making sense there.
Yes, absolutely. So here's the truth, Skibela, is that you need to be able to balance the two. You need to be able to balance the two. So first and foremost, when you are showing investability in your business, you want to be able to show an investor that there is enough demand for your business. So if it can either be in the form of actually selling a product, or it can be in the form of people indicating an interest in a prototype that you have for your particular product. So that is very important. The next thing also is what investors often worry about is, I see the product, I see that it's a good product, I see the potential of the product. However, can I invest in this particular entrepreneur? What is their work ethic? What is their business acumen? How financially savvy are they? Once money comes in, are they going to pump it back into the business, or are they going to go to Mauritius on holiday? So those two elements need to be able to speak to each other, because what they are actually saying is that they are entering into a relationship with yourself. That is why you find that business owners are now building themselves as personal brands, so that people are able to increase their know, like, and trust factor. The investor needs to be able to know that you can do the job. They must be able to like you as an individual, and they must be able to trust that you can be able to deliver upon your mandate. So as a result of that, you need to be able to do the two concurrently. So let me give you a very simple example. Do you know of the brand Batu?
Yes.
All right, excellent. So first, on the first hand, you've got the shoe brand. The proof of concept is there. They sold shoes before they received funding. So it showed that there was demand for the product. But not only that, the founder of the brand, Theo Baloyi, then went on to say, I am going to build my personal brand so that no matter what business I begin and I then create after Batu, I myself am an investable entrepreneur, because people know me, they like me, and they trust me. So as a result, you want to be able to do the two concurrently.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that insight. I did see one hand, but while we are, the person is unmuting himself. I can't remember who it was. There's a question on the chat box. If you have more than one business that does not have anything to do with each other, how do you keep talking about it and not look like someone that is trying to do everything? I can't read the entire of it.
Oh,
You can see.
hello.
Yes, you can talk.
Hi.
Ria, do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind asking that question?
Yes. Basically, I've got products, but they don't always have something to do with everything. Like if you do programming and you do websites, you are sort of yes, this guy knows his tech, but if you have something that you sell physically, like say mugs, or I'm just giving examples, or fashion, and then you do websites, and it's totally different areas. But now you need to speak about people. I've got people working for me. Everybody has, we are specialized, but if you keep on talking about everything, people think, no, this guy doesn't specialize in anything. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's not worth investing in. But I mean, how do you handle a situation like that?
All right. So Ria, I work with different individuals that are multi-talented, multifaceted, and serial entrepreneurs. And what I often find when we do a diagnostics of their businesses is that we often find that they are running several businesses well, but none of them are actually great. And the reason why that is because their time and attention is split and divided in multiple places, to the extent that sometimes the one business that is doing better than the others is now feeding into the businesses that are struggling. And as a result, you end up not being able to move from good to great. So what I often recommend with individuals like that is that we focus on one business and really make sure that it does exceptionally well. Because when you do one business exceptionally well, you are then able to take the learnings from that business and pour it into another business. So, for example, you need to be able to view yourself like a tree. The bark of your tree is your anchor. The bark of your tree is your anchor, all right? That is the thing that you are known for. That is where your roots are sunk in. And once you have established that, you can now use the leverage of your good reputation that you have built through the bark of the tree to now begin to have your branches. The problem that we face is one day somebody is doing makeup. Next week, they are selling hair. The next week, they want to offer accounting services. We cannot take you seriously. So if I use a well-known person, for example, let's take Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey started out at the core of her business and her brand as a journalist. We knew her to be a talk show host. That is the bark of the tree. Doing that, cultivating it over several years and doing it well, monetizing it to its core foundation, to the point at which her personal brand was at a level where she can now branch out and be an author, be an actress, be a public speaker, be a philanthropist. And we will be able to follow her because the know, like, and trust factor is solid. When you're starting out in business and you are putting your hands in several pots, the bark of your tree has not been rooted enough. So I, for example, have a retail business. If you go onto Hetty the Entrepreneur, I don't need to talk about my retail business because it is solidly running on its own. So when you come to my social pages, I am telling you about how to grow your business. I'm telling you about sales and marketing strategies. I'm telling you about monetization because that is the anchor point that I am focused on at the moment. It does not mean you cannot be multi-talented and multifaceted, but you need to be very clear about the messaging that you are focused on in this particular season. Otherwise, unfortunately, we will not take you seriously. That is the reality of it. We need to understand the psychology of buying when it comes to our audience. We take people who are specialized seriously.
Okay, thank you. So basically, take the one thing you do good or the one that's the most successful, get it to run on its own without you, and then you give attention to the next best one that you have, and so on.
Absolutely, Ria. That is honestly the strategy that I would recommend. I know it's not easy. I know as entrepreneurs, we have the skill, the passion and energy to do multiple things. But remember, it is not about us. It is about the people that we are serving. That is why we need to kill the ego so that we can focus on them.
Okay, no, awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ria, thank you for that question. Actually even helped me. Thank you for that. Here's another question on the board. Since I joined, okay, says, I'm not sure if you've touched on how to value your startup company when you are pitching to investors. Yeah, basically, how do you evaluate your company to pitch to investors? Luvuyo, thank you for that question.
So first and foremost, the biggest mistake that we make is that we overvalue it. We always overvalue our startup business. You don't have a machine, you only have an idea, you have a document that your cousin helped you to put together, and then you go and you are pitching your business to say it's valued at 5 million Rand because of your projection in 5 years' time. Are you for real? Are you even serious? Do you really want a person to partner with you, or are you there just for the money? So first of all, as a startup, in as much as we want to dream big, we must also be very realistic, all right? So in valuing your business, also think about the salient factors that you can build into your business. For example, if you are in robotics and you are coming from a scientific background, part of the valuation of your business should be your intellectual property, should be your qualification, should be your years of experience. Those are some of the things that not necessarily have a rand or monetary value, but it is valuable in the valuation of your business, because what it means is that your investor may not necessarily need to reinvest into additional third parties to bring the intellectual property and knowledge that you have. Go to a professional to help you evaluate your business. Because what you are doing when you are evaluating your business is you are writing down how much money you need or wish you had. You are not writing the truth, because the truth is subjective. You are saying my business is valued at 5 million Rand because I need 5 million Rand. So I need you to begin to think from the perspective of the investor, to say, listen, our business has only generated X amount of revenue because these are some of the limitations that we have. But due to the demand that we are seeing, if we receive an investment of X amount, it will allow us to create more product, more marketing, and therefore will help us to increase our revenue because we will be able to meet the demand. It is currently realistically projected at this amount. However, with your investment, we foresee a turnover of this. This is how you begin to show an investor that you are a realistic human being and you're not going there with your daydreams. Because remember, we don't invest in daydreams. Please, if you do not know how to evaluate your business, get a professional to help you. Entrepreneurs, we are very much A-type personalities. We are very much the type of people that we want to do things ourselves. However, seek the assistance of a professional that can help you to come up with a realistic valuation so that you do not shoot yourself in the foot. All right.
Oh, so that's great advice. Thank you so much for that. I know many people, many of our student entrepreneurs that are here, actually, they are, particularly those in C7 and C8, they are busy learning that process on how to evaluate your business, and they ask in terms of what you ask an investor. Thank you so much for that. We have another question here. Twitter, I am not ignoring you. I'll come back to you now. How do you develop a good business model? Thanks. Ambrish, that's from you.
All right. So in terms of developing a good business model, you need to start at the beginning. First and foremost, you need to understand the problem that you're solving, who you're speaking to, who your target market is, and the value proposition. Your business model needs to be able to have enough of critical mass to be able to break even and be profitable. A lot of you have spotted a gap in the market. Now you need to be able to ask yourself, is there a market in the gap? Are there enough people out there who are willing and able to pay for my product or service? So sometimes you spotted a gap in the market, but there aren't enough people that care enough about that gap in the market for them to part with their hard-earned money in order to take your product or service. So you really need to have that honest conversation with yourself. Is there a market in that gap that you have identified? All right. Then you need to be able to have a market penetration strategy. A good business model is a model whereby there are enough people that are willing to pay for your product or service at the pricing point that makes sense. At a pricing point that makes sense. Remember, business is not CSI. Business is not charity. Business must be profitable. If the business cannot be able to run at a profit from what you are offering, taking into account all of your expenditure, etc., then it is not a business. So you need to have very sobering conversations with yourself so that you can answer those questions. And if those questions are answered in the affirmative, then you know that you are on track with a good business model.
Thank you for that. I'm on Twitter. Okay, I have a question. I think we've addressed a part of it already. How do you table financial projections and a clear sales plan? I can't read what you is saying, and a clear sales plan that makes sense to investors.
Well, first of all, your sales plan needs to first make sense to you, right? So you need to be able to really unpack what your actual sales plan is. How many units of your product or your service or your knowledge or whatever it is that you are selling are you looking to sell in the next year? So you've now had 2022. How were your sales? How were your sales month on month? How did it compare to 2021? You need to look at it not only from year on year, but also month on month. How did January 2022 compare to January 2021? How did February 2022 compare to February 2021? So that you can be able to make projections for 2023. Then you need to be able to put, all right, what is your goal for 2023? Remember, if you are here and you want to reach here, what you did to get to this level is not going to be able to cut it to take you to this level. So if you are projecting to go higher, you need to now have a proper strategy in place to say, what are you going to do differently to move your business from this level to this level? An investor is going to need to see that. You yourself need to see that. Your first investor that you need to convince is yourself. Because if you cannot put and table a plan of action that you believe that you can execute, how on earth are you going to be able to do it from an investor? the other thing I need us to think about is mindset. For me, when I approach business, I always tell myself, if I get an investor, great, but if I don't, I am continuing anyway. Your investor is not the god of your business. Nobody is going to love your business and care about your business more than you. So you also need to have the mindset of saying, no matter what happens, I am continuing and I am moving forward. Let an investor find you on the path. Money follows momentum. People invest in individuals that are on an upward trajectory. Have you ever noticed that it's very difficult to enter a restaurant where there's nobody seated on the tables? Have you noticed that? When there's nobody in the restaurant, you don't have an appetite to enter. We all enter restaurants where there's people, there's vibe, there's music, there's chatting. Money follows momentum. Do not stand still waiting for the investor. Let them find you on the path of movement. All right. I hope that I've answered that.
I'm so motivated. I think this masterclass was made for me. Okay, I have another. Can I ask? I'm going to ask you 3 questions from Twitter because I want to close my Twitter before it goes on billing. So there's 3 questions that are coming in now. What are the key metrics that an investor would look for? How does one? That's the question number 1. Question number 2, you've already touched on question 2, to bootstrapping. Share some insights in terms of bootstrapping. How does one go about it, and to make it sound and ensure that they are continuing being on track and tracking the money? Oh, yeah, that's quite good actually. The third one, how do you take the money from the business and reinvest it, but making sure that you can measure it? That's a very good question. I have an answer for that as well. Okay. Those are my 3 from Twitter. Twitter, I'm sorry, I'm going on billing. So bye-bye. The recording will be available by end of the week. I apologize, my Twitter people. I'm sorry. Bye-bye.
All right, not a problem. All right, so first and foremost, there are different metrics that investors look at. So the first question was, what are the metrics that an investor is looking at? I want you to understand that investors are not the same. So some of you, you're going to CETA, you're going to IDC, you're going to different banks, you're going to different venture capitalists, all right? Now, what you need to understand is every single investor has a mandate. Every investor has a mandate. There are certain industries that they are mandated to invest in, and there are certain outcomes that they are mandated to look into as well. So some of you are a fashion business, but you are pitching your business to a tech investor. Then when they don't take you, you say people are not interested in fashion. You did not do your research to find out which industry is that particular investment company or individual mandated to invest in. All right, so first and foremost, you must do your research. The responsibility always lies with you. Am I actually pitching to the right investor? Are they investing in businesses within my industry and my sector? First and foremost. Then you want to identify what is the mandate of the investor specifically. Some investors might be mandated to invest in the IT sector, but from township entrepreneurs. So you now want to be able to look and say, how do I position my business to be able to advantage the township sector so that they can be able to take my business seriously? So the mistake that you do is you come up with a proposal, then you go into your Gmail and you BCC all the venture capitalists in the world, all of the investors that you are aware of, and you send them all the same generic poster and you use the hope and pray method. The hope and pray method does not work if you do not do your research. So you need to understand what is the mandate of that investor. The mandate of that investor is the number one matrix that you need to think about. Because if you do not tick off the boxes of their mandate, automatically you are disqualified. It does not mean you are a nice person. It does not mean your product is not nice. It does not mean your business is not lovely. You do not tick the check boxes of the mandate that they are mandated to invest in those businesses. That is the very first matrix. The next thing, guys, is your documents need to be in order. You want funding, but you don't have a business account. You're transacting from your personal account. You want funding, but you don't have a tax clearance certificate. You want funding, but you don't have your BEE certification and all your relevant documents. And then you are upset that we do not take you seriously. Do you take you seriously, number one? Do you take you seriously? Remember, if you treat your business like a hobby, you will get hobby results. Before an investor can even look to say, are you making an income? Are you breaking even? Is this a profitable business? There are certain things that they need to ensure that you even qualify. There are tick boxes that they need to tick off to ensure that you even qualify before we can even invite you to a meeting. So half of the pile of documents they receive, they must discard because you don't have a business account. Those are some of the matrix. So please get your ducks in a row first and foremost, before we can even start to say, is this an investable business? Is there enough demand? How much are you looking to receive in terms of investment? Have you overvalued your business? What is the value proposition and the return on investment for them? Before they can even look at that, are you even ticking those tick boxes, Jay, as a start from there? All right, those are the key matrix and things that you need to begin to think about. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is the question of bootstrapping and tracking your money. Often at times, because businesses are often started off as lifestyle businesses. You started a business because you want to pay your rent, you want to pay your electricity, you want to put fuel in your car. When the money comes into your business, it ends up now funding your lifestyle. If you know that you are a self-funded business, you want to start inculcating the discipline of every single sale, a percentage of that sale must go into a savings account. Automatically, Jay, before you've done anything, any sale that comes in, I've sold a shoe, I've done somebody's face, I have sold whatever it may be, I am taking 10% of that sale, I'm putting it into a savings account. That is how you bootstrap your business. That is how you bootstrap your business. When I started with retail businesses, etc., and money would come in, anything, whether even if it's selling a t-shirt for 50 Rand, it means 5 Rand must go into the savings account. Because then you begin to build a kitty. That is the kitty from which you can now reinvest into advertising, reinvest into marketing, reinvest into a business coach that can help you plan a strategy for your business. Because if you are not intentional about that, you will make sales, but you will not see where your money is going. You will make sales, but you will not be sure where it's going because you're buying new stock, then you are paying for rent, then you go to Konka on Saturday and you just do not understand where your money is going. So when you are bootstrapping, you really need to say a percentage of every sale is going into a savings account. And for me, that was even a brilliant thing because what we do with our businesses that we help to grow is that sometimes their rentals come from that savings account. Instead of saying your rent is due on the 30th, on the 25th, you're scratching your head. Where's the money going to come from? You are actually putting your rental amount aside throughout the month. It alleviates the headache. It doesn't matter how many sales you make. Get into the habit of putting money aside. All right. Then there was the question of how to reinvest in your business. There was somebody that asked me once, if I were to start, not myself, the owner of Nike, if they were to start with zero in their bank account and somebody gave them $100, what would they invest that in their business? And they said advertising and marketing. Advertising and marketing. Some of you want to be able to make a turnover of R1 million, but you will not even invest 10 Rand in advertising. You will not even invest 10 Rand in advertising and marketing. How are we supposed to know that you exist? How long do you want to be the world's best kept secret? If Coke is advertising, what reason do you have to not spend money on advertising? And you pump money and reinvest the amount you can afford. If it's 10 Rand, let it be 10 Rand. Then next time it will be 50, then 100, then 1,000, then 2,000. But it cannot reach 2,000 if you cannot even start with 10 Rand. Take sales, advertising, and marketing seriously, because that is the heartbeat of your business. Reinvest in the aspects of your business that will generate you more money. That will generate you more money. That is what I would advise as far as reinvesting is concerned. I believe I've answered the 3 questions.
Yes, you have. Actually, I always say if you don't have footsteps on your doors, you have no customers, you might as well close the doors. You have no business. Thank you for that. Actually, you answered it far better than I would. There's one last question on our chat box. How should we deal with the psychological aspect of business to convince clients and sell our products?
All right. So first and foremost, sales is a process of psychology. There is a psychology to selling, all right? But the problem that happens is people are so focused on convincing. You don't need to convince anybody of your product. You need to be able to show them. You need to be able to show them why your product is the next best thing. If you're selling clothes, they need to try on your clothes. There is no amount of saying this dress is beautiful, buy it. Then a person wearing it, putting it on, looking in the mirror, seeing how amazing they look, and then they buy it. So you need to also change your own psychology when it comes to selling. The minute you feel, I need to convince, you're not going to convince, because nobody wants to be convinced. Nobody wants to be convinced. Nobody wants to actually be obviously sold to. That is why you want to be able to have conversations around your product, your service, your knowledge, your offering, so that people feel that they are a part of the process. You want to be able to have conversations with your audience in the online space and on social media as well. You want to build your product as part of the lifestyle of an individual. For example, look at wedding rings and engagement rings. The culture of getting engaged with a ring came from the jewelry industry. How do we inculcate what we are selling to be part of a lifestyle? So they're not saying to you, no, they're not trying to convince you. They built it into our lives so that now we feel as though I am not engaged unless I have a ring. How did the champagne industry manage to build it into our lifestyle? By showing us that a celebration is not complete without popping champagne. All of this is part of marketing. Where do you think Valentine's Day and the reason why you buy flowers and chocolate and all of that comes from? Go and look at Net Florist financial statements. They make all of their money from the year around the 14th of February. That is where their biggest turnover comes from, because they have marketed the day of love. So therefore, it has become part of your lifestyle. Any other sales that they make after the 14th of February is pure profit. Pure profit. How do you inculcate the product, service, knowledge, and your offering to be part of a lifestyle so that your customer buys from you as if it is anyway money? I was going to spend the money anyway. How do you build that in? If you are still thinking about convincing, you've lost the battle. If you're still thinking of convincing, you've lost the battle. The customer must feel as though they have to buy your product anyway.
Haiti, thank you. Wow, I see Dugna, you have a question?
No,
Okay.
that was my question, and it is already answered.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies, Matilda, go ahead, you have the floor.
Afternoon and hello, Hetty.
Afternoon.
If you are in a business of buying and selling, and just
Oh, I'm not sure if it's me, but it seems the audio seems to have cut there, Matilda. Can you just repeat your question, please? Can you hear us, Matilda?
Matilda, maybe you can send it to me via WhatsApp. I know you do have my WhatsApp. Maybe you can send it to me via WhatsApp, or you can text it on the chat box as well.
Okay.
Anyway, as we are, maybe if Matilda is able to ask that question, but I think, Haiti, what you have shared with us in regards, particularly, look, I think we take the value of having a strong pipeline of sales lightly. Thank you for sharing such an in-depth, powerful statement that if you actually don't have a strategy on how to acquire customers, and there's a cost to that. Hopefully, maybe you can expand a little bit around how do we approach the sales process, and how do we develop a marketing strategy that's going to draw in the clientele or customers that we want.
Yeah, so often at times, so with all of the clients that we work with, what we do is really a diagnostics of their business to understand their offering and to understand the areas in which they are neglecting to make sales. Because often at times we usually have one pipeline. I make sales on WhatsApp, I make sales on Instagram, I make sales on my e-commerce store. And as a result of that, you then miss out on all the other elements where you can make sales. One business should give you multiple streams of income, one business, by being able to tailor your offering differently. So what we do is what we call a business diagnostics, so that we see where the different elements that you are missing out on actually monetizing your business lies. And then from there, we're able to come up with a strategy. Every single business is different. It's got its different nuances, etc. So no two strategies will be exactly the same. And that's why it's important to really take your business seriously enough to actually go through the process of doing a business diagnostics. Because what that is, it's like going to the doctor and they say, you know what, before I can even be able to diagnose what the problem is and recommend medication, we need to first figure out what is wrong. Let's go and do an X-ray. And this is going to give us a complete overview of what is happening in your body. That is the same as a business diagnostics. It is the X-ray of your business for us to see where are the areas where we are bleeding cash, where in actual fact, we could be making cash. And then we are able to then formulate a strategy from there. I think you're on mute, Xolela.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you. Since we do not have any more questions, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you. Any final words from your side before I close off the session?
Thank you so much. This has really been a really great session. I've enjoyed myself with all of you today. It's always wonderful to connect with entrepreneurs. I would love to connect further with you. You can find me on social media. It's Hetty the Entrepreneur. I'm a business coach. I'm a monetization expert. So if you need, business coaching, you need help with your business, please do send me a DM. Let me know that you are from this session. Our team can perhaps just set up a session with you just to assist you where necessary. And I always share, valuable insights on my social media, etc. So if you have enjoyed today's session, definitely let's connect in the online space and really be able to take it from there. It's been absolutely wonderful. Xolela, thank you for providing this platform where we are able to have these conversations. I think it's so important for entrepreneurs. So thank you for the wonderful and good work that you are doing.
Oh, thank you. Hetty, thank you so much. I see Prof. Patricia and Prof. Robert are here. Thank you. Those are my colleagues that I work with in various universities, trying to make sure that our entrepreneurs get the benefit of these similar insights that you just shared today. So from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the Wadhwani Foundation, we thank you. Just for everyone who just attended now, the recording will be available perhaps by Friday this week, and it will also have Hetty's contact information on how to get in touch with her. And I'll definitely do share it I'll definitely share the link to the masterclass recording via email to everyone who had subscribed. To everyone, thank you so much and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Brother Xolela.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Andile. Bye, Stelo.